Man, tell everybody who we got, brother. This is exciting.
Yeah, man, this guy means a lot to me, man, because this was how I discovered a lot of my favorite artists over the years, man. But we got the one and only Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, man. Jesus, man. Let's bring Dr. Dre on, man. Dre, what's up, homie?
Hey, good evening, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, I can't thank you enough for
Dre?
coming on the show, man.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hear, man. Congratulations on 6 years of keeping and holding it down, man.
Man, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Dre, man, we're aware of everything you're doing right now, and we're going to give you more than enough opportunity to speak on everything you're doing because we really like what you're doing, man. But, we are a hip-hop show, and you're a legend, so, we want to pay you the proper respect on that aspect as well, man. So let's just start with this, man. What was your introduction to hip hop professionally? Like, we know that you were an artist as well. So why don't you give the people just an idea of how you got started?
My introduction to rap music as well as hip hop culture, because I like to keep those kind of things separate because they really are. They fall under the banner of hip hop for only one reason. We couldn't no longer say we're going to do a rap concert because of the things that would happen there. So the buildings wouldn't ensure the artist to be able to perform. So we have to use a title and a term that would be kind of homogenized to let them say, okay, that's not that bad. That at least they're wearing shoes and they're singing R&B and hip hop together, so that's okay. So I kept keeping it separate. I grew up in rap music and in hip hop, starting out DJing in parks as a youngster. Community centers, basement parties, big American Legion halls, to religious halls, to stadiums, to you name it. I went everywhere with it. I DJed multiple different states under the group named The Concept with my partner T-Money. He and I were the leaders of the group, and one of the other guys was Eazy-G Rockwell, who joined us as we grew with it. After fast forwarding in from there, I went to Adelphi University after leaving Nassau Community College with on the dean's list and scholarships to Cornell University and Adelphi University. But as BBD would say, I fell for the big button and smile and went to Adelphi University. So,
that's in New York, right?
That's in New York, Garden City, New York. And while doing that, I went to a Black music history class, and I joined a few gentlemen by the name of Bill Stephanie, Carlton Ridenauer, also known as Chuck D, Public Enemy, and Harold McGregor, also known as Harry Allen. And I were in the same black music class. And sitting through that class with those guys for a minute, Bill and Chuck said, hey, man, have you ever thought about working at the radio, going to the radio station? I said, what radio station? I ain't never heard of a radio station over here like that. Now, the funny thing is I've heard of BAU for a long time, but I never associated BAU with Adelphi University. So eventually we walked over because we started spending a lot of time together and hanging out just as people. And they took me up to the station, introduced me around. I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. And Bill told me of his show. And I said, wait a minute, you're Mr. Bill? Get out of here. Because back then with BAU, it was like all college radio stations. You had to have aluminum foil and stand on your roof with an antenna and hope while you're driving slow enough you can catch it. So back in those fun days, I call it. And, I started hanging out and doing the show with him. And then, something about Chuck, he came to school one day and he had the Spectrum City jacket on. I looked at him like, wait a minute. You down with Spectrum? He's like, yeah, I'm down with Spectrum. I was like, wait a minute, man, because we were adversarial DJ groups at the time. But there were two Spectrums. There was Spectrum City, which was with Chuck, Hank Shockley, Keith Shockley. Not so much Flavor Flav, other members like John Delight and Company that were involved, and Butch Cassidy. Got to give Butch Cassidy all the big credit. They were doing that, and they were like this big DJ crew on Long Island, from Roosevelt, Long Island. And we were from Westbury, Long Island, two rival towns. And we were trying to always get to do parties at this place called CW Post, Long Island University. But there was this other guy named Spectrum who was blocking us because he was down with the fraternity. So you know how that works. You guys will never play here. But we became more promoters and entrepreneurs and marketers because we ended up renting out bigger halls and trying to get all the college kids because that's how we paid our bills and that's how we, gained our popularity. So while watching them and watching how they did such a production and a show, what they did, going out to DJ, I said, we need to raise our level up too. So in sitting down and having that conversation, Chuck and I were like, wait a minute. Are you talking about that special dude from Cedar? Yeah, he said, no, man, we've been trying to fight him for the longest since he stole our name. That's why we call it Spectrum City. I said, now that makes sense. So that's the easiest thing to bring you together is when you have the same adversary. So long story short, we were all hooked up at BAU. And, I got to meet a guy named Flavor, and we was called MC DJ Flavor at the time, who then also became Flavor Flav and Public Enemy also. And we were doing these shows, and many young artists that were coming up at the time, also known like as Run DMC, came up with Jam Master Jay. The Beastie Boys had come up there. I brought them up there myself. My person back then. DJ Red Alert, I brought up. Chuck Chill Out from, at this time, they were on Kiss FM. And Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation came up. So all these different interactions with all these different artists that were coming through. And, we turned that station, a little teeny tiny station, as the signal started to grow and get better, it became more popular in the Queens, Brooklyn area, and went as far out as almost Amityville, almost into Babylon on Long Island. So we had a pretty good wide range of broadcasting. But the shows we did were very, very well done. And we DJed all different clubs all over the places because that's what we did. Because coming from Long Island, trying to break into the city was almost like impossible because they already had their own cliques in Queens and Brooklyn and the Bronx and Uptown. So when we got a chance to go in there, we always worked together to make it seem like we were one big giant crew and get all that stuff. And it worked very well for us for a long time. But in the midst of doing that, I hooked up with Rick Rubin from Def Jam, before Def Jam did the Sony deal. And we met, and we had a couple of friends in common because I had a friend who lived in Long Beach who knew Rick, and I knew Rick, and he heard about the show and all what was going on. And we started just exchanging ideas and playing different music and like, this is kind of cool. And we started playing breaking stuff all the time. He would give me leaks and stuff that was going on. So that's how I kind of got our relationship with them going. And then we were doing these radio promos for the shows. I did one, which infamously is called Knowledge Me, and Can You Feel It, which was the first single in Def Jam that I did. And Run told me, you need to take this over to Russell and Rick and let them hear this because this is crazy. I took it to his brother Russell, who I met at Rush at the time, who was an artist management group with Bill Adler, the great Bill Adler, Carmen, and Leo Cohen, and Dr. Jekyll, Andre Harrell was there, and Tony Rome, all these different people. And it was like the first little rap, hip-hop, corner where all these artists were coming from. It was, semi-organized and kind of chaotic. So we played him the stuff that Ron was asking me to play. So I played Acknowledge Me and Can You Feel It? And he said, no, you need to play for Rick. Play for Rick. I took it to Rick, and Rick went crazy. He said, this is so crazy. This is, can I get a copy of this? So I gave him a copy of it, and he loved it. So he said, I got to sign out. You got to get signed. I said, okay. So T-Money and I decided to sign and do it because we made this, I was still called the radio promo in my basement at the time. That's where we did all the work.
Right.
Out of the basement. And we spent almost a few months, and we recorded it at Chung King's House of Metal with their great Steve Bett and Rick and myself and my partner Eric McIntosh. Steve was there. And, at the time, Keith Shockley, who was known as Wizard KG, he was there. We recorded it and put it together, and it became Knowledge Me, Can You Feel It? It originally was called It's Great to Be Here, but when we recorded, we changed it to Can You Feel It? Mm. So fast forward in the story, they were asking me, what else can I do? I said, I can produce a lot of different songs. So they said, can you produce one for Run DMC? We're looking for a song like, like a black movement song, something, of that angst. And I said, sure. So T and I sat in the studio, and I started working on the beat and put the beat together. And eventually we called in Rapper G, who then was working for us as a rapper, and we came up with a song called Proud to Be Black for Raising Hell.
Yeah.
Now, my name got on the song because that was the politics of the day. But, I have to say we all did a concerted effort putting that song together for Run DMC. And at that time, the Beasties and I, we would go out together, like Original Concept and Beastie, we would do gigs together all over the place. And Rick said, yo, I can't DJ anymore. I said, Drake, could you take over and do it for me? And I said, what? Okay, sure. So they asked me if I'd go, and I went to rehearsals with them, and, you know, I started DJing all over with the Beasties, and I was a part of their thing. So eventually we got booked as the leading act on the Raising Hell tour, and I did that for a while. Eventually I left because, you know, I got a phone call from Team. He said, yo, man, this is great. We're doing this, but don't we have an album to do? And the Beasties would finish up their album, and we're sitting here, you know, Original Concept, we're dropping all these different songs. And I'm like, yeah, people love this all over. Like, we're starting to get a big burn on it. So on the back of the tour bus, I wrote Pump That Bass. And when I came home, I went in the studio, recorded it, put it together. Eazy-E put some scratches on it. I brought the group in. We started doing all the chants and stuff that went in it. Then I went back to Chum King, and I mixed it with Steve X for like 36 and a half hours. So out of that came a song called Pump That Bass. On the other side was Biting My Style.
Yeah, y'all was putting a grind in back then.
Yeah, we were. I mean, sleep was something we really didn't worry about. We just did it wherever we were. So that's how kind of my first beginnings were. But in between that, I started DJing these different loft parties in the city, and you know, from the downtown area up in the Harlem. I DJed in the Bronx, I DJed in Brooklyn, I DJed all over the place. You know, my crew was our group was called The Concept, but there was this other group that started recording under that group. So it was MCA, the late MCA, you know, God rest his soul. He said, well, y'all be Original Concept. And that's how the name stuck, Original Concept. That was kind of my first early dealing in rap, hip-hop music. I'd always been involved in it since kind of its inception because I was always fascinated with it. When I was young, I used to find my way from Westbury, Long Island into the Bronx to watch people like Master Flash DJ in the parks and different other bigger DJs in the Bronx to just, you know, get a vibe on what was going on. So I was always fascinated by it. And the thing is, when I saw these guys, I didn't know their names, but I just knew what they did until I saw the movie Wildfire. And I was like, wait a minute, I saw that guy. Wait a minute, I saw that guy. Wait a minute. Because if you didn't usually get to see them live like that, you usually got these tapes that were passed around everywhere. Everybody had a copy of the, you know, Grandmaster Caz tape and a tape of what happened up at Harlem World, or a tape over here, or a tape over there. So it was always like a filtered tape down. So, you know, you got that fifth generation of a tape and it sounded like, like, yo, this is really cool. But, you know, I was the only one guy sitting there going, what? It sounds like garbage, guys. Can't hear one thing. No, you got to listen real good. I said, I've listened 10 times. I still don't understand what's going on in here. But the thing is, me, I'm one of the people that would venture out and want to see it for myself. Because, you know, you hear it, like, I can't understand. So then we started doing cool stuff like taking our box or bringing it to clubs and pressing play and record and making tapes too. And I got to give big credit to a guy out here that lived on my block. His name is Brian Smith. He used to do the same type of thing. He was always like the lead guy, bringing in this music from all over the different boroughs that would inspire us to go out there and do these park jams because we'd see it. And then as we got our equipment and it grew, we decided to grow with it. So, it was like I said, Adelphi University was kind of the launch pad for all of us and this BAU thing that branched off groups like YBT, Leaders of the New School with Busta Rhymes, the Deadly MCs, the Town House 3, which was really No Self-Control. I forgot the name of that group, with Flavor and TA. I mean, all those type of groups came out of that. And, you know, we always were doing production, but we never thought it would manifest itself onto a record. Because at the time, records were, like, so far away, and it was just so crazy and chaotic. So one day when I was up with Rick and Russell, because they were always listening to, when I was with the Beast, they would always listen to my BAU tapes when we were on the bus, or we were in a car or a van, and we would always play, and they would play stuff, and I'd play stuff. And they heard this one song called Public Enemy No. 1. They were like, yo, who did this? And I said, this is a BAU promo. That's what it was. So he said, you need to play this for Rick. You got to play this for Rick. I said, okay, let me go play it for Rick. So I went to go play it for Rick in his dorm room, and he was laying down on his side, and Russell was there sleeping. So I put the tape in Rick. He says, no, play it. I want to hear about this. I heard about this, so I play it. And he gets to hear the, yo, Chuck, yeah. And it goes, and he starts going into what goes on. Well, Russell gets up, walks over the tape, presses eject, and throws it out the window. I said, yo, what the f*** are you doing? He said, that's noise. No one's ever going to buy that crap. And he went back and sat down and went to sleep. And Rick's like, wait a minute, Dre, you got to give me a copy of that tape. What happened? I said, dude, your man just threw it out the window. And he was
so
like,
Russ didn't think that was going to be, he didn't think nobody was going to listen to Public Enemy number 1.
Russell said
that was wrong on that one, wasn't he?
No one's ever gonna listen to that. Henceforth, we were coming back from a DJ gig, and I told Chuck and Hank about it, and I said, yeah, because they had just done a song called "Check Out the Radio" and live on the Vanguard label under Spectrum City, and the deal was really bad. And they didn't want to record again. They hated it. Like, no, I'm not going back into that. It's too much nonsense. It's too crazy. It's too hectic. So I took it back to Rick. Rick loved it. He said, you got to get me Chucky D. You got to get me Chucky D. I said, okay, I'll keep working it up. I'll keep talking to him. So I did. Eventually, Bill Stephanie became vice president of Def Jam, and also because Bill would know everybody out there. And we all felt more comfortable wanting to work with Def Jam because Bill used to be the beatbox writer for CMJ, College Music Journal, back in the days, and he was close with Rick, and that's how he became a VP when they got the Sony deal. So when all that kind of took place, he also tried to get him into Chuck, and that's how the idea of Public Enemy came about. Because we were doing that in college anyway, but we didn't have a name for it. It was just we were being us, and
y'all was just doing y'all thing.
Got together. It was just it wasn't looking for a check. It was looking for if we're going to do something, we're going to make sure it says something. So they came together and formed the Bomb Squad. Public Enemy became what it was, and Yo Bum Rush the Show, something we were saying always on the radio. So that was the first manifestation of it. Now it's all history.
Yeah, that's how y'all legends for real, because these stories need to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's amazing what you tell me. I know. I can't speak for Prez, but I know he's sitting here listening to you too, because as you saying this, I'm remembering a lot of this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So how did y'all come to be from that going to what most people will know y'all from with the Yo MTV Raps though? Because that had to be not too far behind that, right?
Well, yeah, in a way, because when I left the B season, I went back in to start recording straight from the basement of Cooley High with the original concept, and we were putting that out together. I was having a lot of friction with Rick at the time. So I decided to go in and I pulled all my tapes out of Tongue King, and I went out east to Ian London to Kenny Watson's spot, and we recorded straight from the basement of Cooley High out there because I had distance and I could speak free of mind. And when I finally finished that and I was getting ready to come out, like I said, I was DJing all these different loft parties all over the city. Well, man, Deaver and his own girl, Jessica Rosenblum, like I said, doing all these DJ parties, and a guy walked up to me one day who I knew from the Beasties. His name was Peter Doherty, and he worked at MTV. And he came and said, hey, man, you're killing the party. This is really cool. He said, would you mind coming down and visiting me at the office one day? I said, really? He said, office where? So he pulled out his card. It has MTV on it. It has a Shamrock. And I'm like, yeah, you really? I said, I'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll figure out, work out a time. I'll come down. I said, what do you mean? I said, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. He said, yeah, okay. So you want to pick my brain? He said, no, not at all. I've seen you on stage with the Beasties. We did interviews and stuff. I know who you are. I said, okay, well, cool. So I went down to his office like a couple of days later, and he was telling me about, did you see the special that we did on MTV for Yo MTV Raps? I said, yeah. He said, because it was the inaugural show with Run DMC and Jam Master Jay were the hosts. And it was done in Nassau Coliseum with Public Enemy was headlining the Def Jam tour with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Rob Bass. And the funny thing is, I introduced him on the stage. I said, dang, I forgot I did that. And he said, have you been watching the episodes with Fab Five Freddy? I said, yeah. He said, what do you think? I said, Fab is cool. I like Fab a lot. I think he's all right. I said, but he kind of, it's not enough episodes yet for me to make a criticism. I said, but you got to put a little more entertainment in there, something to make it lively or bring some other kind of thing, bring the culture part in it more than what Fab is doing, but just interviewing, because we get that from MTV. And, the jocks, the DJs interview the artists, and then the artist goes to the video. We've seen that. That's going to have a certain amount of okay for a while, but you got to have something else that's going to give a different little kick. So he said, what do you think? I said, yeah, I got an idea to do something. He said, well, do you produce TV? I said, sure I do. What do you mean, do I produce? I do video all the time. Haven't done one video in my life. Just going off. But I knew T, my partner, he went to school for media and television production. So I said, between the two of us, we can make something up. It'll be cool. So we did. We went back we came with this idea about doing barbershop cuts and all different types of cuts that were going on. Because if you know, back in the day, there was like all different types of cuts, the Gumbies, the people writing in their name and their hair and all that stuff. So we did one, and we had a chance to go to our barbershop and have the guy, we're going to shoot it and do this episode, do the segment for him. And the guy that was supposed to be there didn't show up. And I was like, damn. So who's going to do it? And the only person that kind of knew the whole thing was me. So I jumped in the chair and I did it because Peter was like, yo, man, I'm waiting for 2 hours. I got to go. I said, no problem. I'll get it done. So I shot it for him. He saw it. He said, yo, this is great. Took the tape. And they do this too. They always take the tape and run. I said, where you going with my tape? He said, call me in a couple of days. So he takes the tape. Matter of fact, he calls me the next day. He says, hey, can you come in? What day you want me to come in? Tomorrow? I said, no, come in today. Come in today. I'm going to send a call for you. I get in the car and I go up there. He goes, yeah. Yo, everybody loves this tape. It's so incredible. I said, can I get our tape back? He says, no. I was just showing the bosses. Could you do this on Fab's show? I said, I could do this all the time. He said, what do I get paid? Is what I was trying to tell him. He's like, yeah, this would be so great. Yo, we'll make the shows really great. I want to introduce you to my production assistant, Ted Demi. So we walked out of Ted's office. Ted's down there. I walk in Ted's office and Ted goes, hey, man, how you doing? Real cool. Ted was very, very laid back, funny, fun guy. Very funny guy. I always loved Ted. Rest in peace. To death. And he said, come on, man, I want to shoot this thing with you. I want to do an audition tape. Okay, I thought you guys got my audition tape. I'm waiting for my tape back. Can I get my tape back? And he's like, no. So he shoots the audition, and he goes, okay, thanks, man. Going back to Peter's, man. I'll call you back. I'll call you up. I said, oh, okay, that's it. All right, no problem. So I look out the door. There's a skinny, tall guy sitting outside the Ted's office. I'm like, there's about 4 black people here, and 2 of them are custodians. It's either me and this other guy. What is he here for? So I'm like, oh, he must be here auditioning too. So he gets up and he goes and Ted's office and closes the door. I'm back at Peter's office, and he's like, yeah, man, everybody's talking about you. He said, we're thinking about making your own TV Raps a daily show, and Fab doesn't want to do it. Would you be interested? And I said, you're serious? I said, no, dead serious. I said, I have to be here 5 days a week. He said, no. That's what we're going to talk to Ted, and we'll figure this out. Ted comes back, and he goes, hey, man, can you come down to my office again? I go back down to his office. Ed's sitting in there. It's the first time I'm meeting Ed. I'm looking at him. Hi, it's my partner, Ed Lover. Ed, how you doing? This is Dr. Dre. He said, I know who he is. He said, hey, how you doing, Ed? What's going on? He said, look, we're thinking about doing you all during the week, but I want to do something different. Can I get y'all 2 to work together? And we said, why not? Give it a shot. So we saw some Jamaican dreadlock wigs he had hanging up in his office. We put them on, and we did this whole audition doing this Jamaican dreadlock thing, which was hysterical. He gets excited, takes it, grabs the tape, and runs down the hall. I keep going, do they keep doing this to you too, taking the tapes and running down the hall? He said, yeah. I said, where the hell he go? I said, yeah, man, I'm going back to Peter's office. I take the wig off, shake hands with him, and go down the office. Peter's all excited. Ted's excited. He said, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. I'll let you know what happens. I said, okay. I said, I'm willing to do it. So Ted pulls me back into his office and said, would you guys mind working together? Would you do this? And I said, I looked at Ed, and he looked at me, and I said, why not? Because I went up there, and I had on my Def Jam jacket, so I was trying to be Mr. Impressive. So I was impressive about that. So I said, why not? So he said, good. I need you to come here next Wednesday. We'll do this. No, he asked me to come in tomorrow so we can talk about what we're going to do to program the videos. So we went in there the next day, Ed was with us, and we started programming your TV Raps today. And we kept figuring out we don't have enough videos to play because there weren't enough rap videos to play at the time. It just weren't. So we started mixing in Parliament Funkadelic, Bob Marley, James Brown, you name it. We mix it all together so you get this whole cross section.
Right.
So
basically, all the shit y'all was sampling anyway. Everything that the rappers would be sampling would be the shit that y'all be playing on.
So we had those videos, so we just used them because they were in the MTV, that big catalog they had and stuff. So we just used them. So then the next thing we started doing, we started saying, because at first it was just like Run DMC, there was only a handful. There really wasn't as many videos as people think there were. So then we went down there and I said, Ted, can I borrow that turntable? He said, what? I just want to borrow the turntable. Why? We put it on the set when we play. I said, I want to play music while we're talking. He said, you want to play music while we're talking? I said, yeah, man, play music while we're talking. He said, why would you want to do that? I said, dude, trust me, it sets a vibe up. It sets a tone. He said, really? I said, yeah. So I brought the turntable down, started playing music on there, and he was like, oh, you're right. This is kind of cool. So we're shooting our first week of shows, and there's this woman sitting on this grandstand that's in there where people were just sitting up, hanging out for the set. And we look, and Ted Gomes comes out and he's talking to us. I said, Ted, who is that? He says, I don't know. Let me go find out. He goes up and we found out it's Carole King. I said, Carole King? He said, nah, that ain't Carole King. I said, yeah, that's Carole King. I said, well, ask her to come down and be on the show. He said, what? Come on out and be on the show. Now, at that time, Carole King now has one of the most hottest shows on Broadway. We didn't realize the tapestry I used of her work and all the songwriting she had done. She was honestly the first guest on Yo MTV Raps Today. And it was so cool. She was like, I don't know much about rap music. I said, you don't need to know. We're just going to get down around on your stuff. Come on, Carol, come on. And we had a good time. She did the show. We did the segment. It was done.
Dre, do you remember do you remember the first video you guys played?
I believe it was probably Run DMC. Don't hold me to that.
No,
I have great memory on
Eric
everything.
B. and Rakim. Eric B. and Rakim, Follow the Leader.
Happy birthday to Rakim Allah, too.
Yes, happy 50th birthday to Rakim.
No,
yeah,
I think you may have that wrong. I'm going to tell you why. Because Follow the Leader came out inside of that first year. The first stuff we came out, because we actually debuted in 88 in the fall. I'm not certain if it was Follow the Leader with Rakim, but you may be right. But I'm going to disagree.
Look, I read that somewhere, so I tried to look it up, and I found two videos that say that it's the first episode of Yo MTV Raps, and it starts with Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince doing like a little intro, and then it has Run DMC on a stage, and they say something, but like the first actual video was Eric B. and Rakim.
No, but those are again, let me be clear. The first Yo MTV Rap show was hosted by Run DMC live at the Nassau Coliseum Def Jam. So you may be right about that.
Oh,
but the first Yo MTV Rap Today show, our show, Run DMC was probably the first video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was different when it first came out. Y'all was going live, like almost like what was the other show they had years? I forgot the other show they had years later.
No, Fat Five Freddy did the weekend.
And then they cut
Saturday.
the videos.
So yeah, that was one show. But when Ed and I debuted during the week, we did 5 days a week. We did 5. Okay. And the funny part about it, people think that we were there every day. No, we used to tape on a Wednesday, tape all 5 days in a row.
What was it like for you, Dre? When you had who were some of your favorites? Like I always liked Eazy-E, Tupac. I always thought Tupac was crazy when he was on Yo MTV Raps. What were your thoughts on Tupac?
I was going to ask about that
on the show.
Well, my honest thoughts on Tupac. Tupac was a real good friend of mine and Ed's named Stretch, who was with the Live Squad. God rest his soul. Also, he was killed after Tupac, and we had a cool relationship with Pac because Ed knew Pac from way back from with Digital Underground. So the one thing I said about Pac, and I used to tell him so sometimes, I said, dude, stop crying fire in a crowded theater. It's not good. And he's like, no, Dre, let me explain to you the stuff like thing, man. Yo. I said, yeah, but you're calling people to shoot you. Karma comes full circle, dude. You got to be careful with that. He said, you're not understanding power of language of what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. He said, look, I'm trying to bring awareness to what's going on. I said, I can agree in all that, but there's a way. The more you're shouting and the more you're being that, chaotic and chaos oriented, the more the people that you're turning on are also going to be some people that are going to take you down. So you got to be careful. It's got to be like a fine line, a balanced line of everything. And he was like, oh, no. So when he came on the show, after what happened with him with the Hughes brothers, and he was sitting there going off, Ed had to, put his hand over, yo, man, don't do that, dude. You don't realize, this could be held against you. And it was. They brought that tape into court.
Yeah.
And that was held against him. What happened with him and the Hughes brothers. So Pac was a very dynamic talent and a dynamic personality and a lot of charisma. And he was very, very smart. I did give him that. I liked a lot of his music. I use the word like first, not love. I liked a lot of his music. I got to understand it after the fact. But I always say to myself, I wish he would have just pulled back a little teeny bit so that we could hear him today. Because I don't think the same thing would have happened. Instead of jumping off and doing your first initial reaction, sometimes sit back and think it through. because Ed and I, like, they had this special with Soledad O'Brien and Ice-T about who shot Biggie and Tupac, and I was kind of laughing at Ice-T was out there doing that, and they were talking to Stretch. I said, well, Stretch told Ed and I what happened because he was there, and he was our dude.
Right.
He knew what happened, and we were like, what are they talking about on TV? This is crazy. How do y'all do this special and you don't have, not just me, but Ed should be there because Ed and Stretch, man, they were like brothers. And you got the tape you're playing that you got from Fab Five Freddy about Stretch. That didn't even make sense to me. But this is what happens when people like to tell the fictionalized version of the facts. I don't like to tell fiction stories. I tell truth. That's why when I sit down with my son and I saw this movie called Straight Outta Fiction, Compton, I said that didn't happen. I was there. What they portrayed on that screen, yeah, that's a good Hollywood movie, but I was waiting for Tinkerbell to come out and hit the thing and go into the Magic Kingdom. I said, damn, this is really a bunch of...
We've been saying the same thing even before the movie came out, too.
We had so many show that were left out of that movie. We actually did an episode called Left Straight Outta Compton, and we had, a lot of these people that were not talked about in that film, and I see that in a lot of films.
They had a Radiant Prince, everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like when you watch that stuff, right, and you get to be a part of that, and like when they say, "Oh, we did talk to police because what happened with us," dude, I was the dude. Ed and I were on stage in Detroit when the cops threw the what do you call it? The firecrackers on the stage where you ran off because they told you not to talk to police because Ed and I were filming this episode of Yo MTV Raps there, live. Right. We were there. So when you portrayed in the movie like we didn't exist. And you're going, oh, we were on the radio everywhere. No, you weren't, because there were radio stations everywhere playing rap music. It didn't exist.
Facts.
It didn't exist until Ed and I got to 97. Those are facts. Those are just facts.
Yep,
not fiction. So when you portray that, then you turn around and you do a documentary with Jimmy Iovine, and you got me all in your documentary. I'm like, wait a minute, man. This is the whole movie, and acting like I didn't exist. But here I'm in your documentary, and you're standing next to me.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
this is why
bullshit.
You can't do things and act like it's like that and think and you're trying to treat like, oh, he must be dead. No, I'm not dead. I raised my kids. Oh, Dre fell off. Fell off of what? No. I said, I did that
right,
when I didn't have kids.
And I salute you for that,
my
too.
My kids need my guidance. Huh?
Yeah, I say I salute you for that, too, because a lot of people went the other way, and they forgot about their kids and went and did other things for other reasons. So I salute you for that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I appreciate that. But see, again, people say, oh, you must be bitter about it. What am I bitter about? The truth. Now I'm writing my book. My movie will be done. The difference between yours and mine is I'm just going to tell the truth. And I say, dates don't lie. I'll just go date to date to date to date to date. When Who's the Man came out, that came out on the day the Rodney King verdict came out. That's why the movie didn't do well on the West Coast, because they were rioting. They were rioting. And that's just,
I was going to ask you about that movie. That's how I'm always
remember
remember y'all, too, off that movie. That movie, I still watch that movie all the time. Not all the time like I used to, but y'all was silly as hell in that movie, man.
Well,
that was
thank
perfect
you.
hip-hop
You're just trying to, Dre. Eazy was in the movie. What was he like as a person? Because I know outside of the rap and all that, I know the man was a very charitable person. He helped a lot of people, a lot of children. What was the Eazy-E like that you knew off camera?
The Eazy-E I knew off camera, he was laid back. He was funny. He was very conscious of what he was doing. He understood it. He was a good businessman, but he wasn't. I don't want to say wise enough, because I can't understand, especially during that era and what we were always discovering about things. If you just put a cap on it, man, you may have been still being here with us. Who knows what you'd be doing now? He was a visionary inside of working with great people like the other Dr. Dre, Ice Cubes, and that's what I'm saying. He was a good businessman, but how do you let Ice Cube go, knowing he's the focal point of all the songs that are being written? He's writing them all. Because the funny story about that, once again, back to Yo MTV Raps, when Ice Cube leaves them, he calls me and he meets me at Yo MTV Raps. He says, yo, I need to get to the Bomb Squad in Chuck. He said, could you get me there? I said, sure I can. So I meet him, and at the time it was his girlfriend, but then now his wife, And Keith Shockley, I pick him up in my Jeep, and I drive him to 510 South Franklin. And I'm the one who procured the meeting between them and the bomb squad for him to work on America's Most Wanted. Where's that in the movie? Wow. And again, it's not about a personal thing. It's like, how do you put a movie out like that? And the whole backbone of your essence was Yo MTV Raps. It just was. It just was.
I mean, you need to get your props too. I mean, that's the whole thing. When we do the show, it's about preservation, and it's about having the guests come on and tell their stories, because a lot of times are rewritten out of history. I'm saying, when you see these movies, and then afterwards, do you ever run into somebody like Dre or Cube and be like, "Hey, man, what the fuck?"
No, because they won't speak it, and then it's not a duck and you hide. I said, because the truth hurts. I said, dude, you could have said, "Hey, man, we were pressed at the time. We had to do this. We didn't know. We have to get a clearance from you." And that's the problem with doing these movies. Like, as we're trying to put movies together, like we're doing a movie on my life, and the biggest thing we're dealing with and doing the research of them, working with the producers, I said, guys, we can't leave this person. I said, Dre, we can't afford to bring everybody you want to bring in, because they're all going to want money. We don't have a $200 million budget to make your story. We got to figure out how to do it and do it smarter. And I said, well, so we're doing the research on it, but I'm doing the book first. And I was already quoted saying, this is going to be one of the most dangerous books ever written. I said, yeah, come, let's tell the truth. I have nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide that I have to go, oh, wow, I'm worried about this, or I'm worried to say that. No, I'm not worried about anything. And that's the same thing, like I was trying to advise, you said Tupac, and what happened with him is like, I really couldn't stand the true story of who killed Tupac and Biggie was Vibe magazine and The Source. That's the truth. And I went to both of them telling them, could you please stop publishing covers, the East versus the West versus the... You're dividing this thing. And that's what we used to tell MTV. When you got rid of Yo MTV Raps, when you did that, you made this the Wild, Wild West. Because the one thing about Yo MTV Raps, you on Yo MTV Raps, it didn't say Yo MTV Raps Compton. It didn't say Yo MTV Raps the Bronx, Yo MTV Raps Atlanta, Yo MTV Raps Detroit. You were on Yo MTV Raps, period. Everybody was equal. The moment you destroyed that balance, you set the galaxy out of control. And that's what happened. That's facts, though.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, because we was kids. We was kids, but we wasn't too young. And when Pac got killed was the year I graduated, 1996. I had just graduated, and Pac died that same summer. So it was like, when you young and so now we picking and choosing sides, even on the music that we was listening to.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good. What I'm saying? It wasn't good, because I had to learn artists that was out at that time after the fact, and I could have been enjoying that shit all the way through. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. It was a void in my life for East Coast music, because I was riding with Pac now. So it's like, man, I ain't even going to listen to that shit. Then I found out that some of these albums I had access to, and I just passed up on them, because I felt like if I listened to somebody that Pac didn't fuck with, I wasn't being loyal to the music that I grew up really liking, or the artists that I liked. And that was crazy. The problem. That was the one thing we didn't want to do. And I even tried to stop that at Hot 97. But I'm the one that brought Straight Outta Compton over to Hot 97 and played it. And I was like, it's difficult to play, because it's all, dude, come on, it is what it is. You can't put out versions like that. There's no radio versions. So that's what I said. They weren't on the radio like that, but we would play stuff that I would sneak stuff in during my traffic jam on our morning show. We were the first hip-hop morning show ever. Morning show. Yeah.
Dr.Dre, That Lover. Bang. Hot 97. We beat Howard Stern in the ratings. Exactly. That's the facts. Those are facts. Those aren't like, oh, he's just talking. No, it's what happened. So when you broke that system,
they really don't pay no homage to y'all. They don't pay no homage to y'all, for real. That's what I don't like. That's why I'm glad you came on our platform, you know what I'm saying, because we feel like it's important for these stories to be heard. And when I'm telling my kids about Yo MTV Raps, like, we couldn't wait to get out of school. Like, we rushing to the crib. Like, cats took ass whoopings because they didn't do their homework first. They were sitting, mama then came in and we sitting there watching videos and shit, you know what I'm saying? And dishes ain't washed, and you know what I'm saying? But we felt like that was made for us, and we could be a part of it. So if you had aspirations of becoming a rapper, it was because y'all was playing them videos. Now, a lot of these dudes now tell you that. Some of the rappers that's out now will probably tell you, or probably have already told you that, man, we get home, watch them videos. That's what made us think that we could do it. and some of them made it.
Mm-hmm. And remember when you we used to go from 30 minutes to an hour and back and forth, and MTV would play with the time, and we'd be like, yo, why y'all keep doing that? People wanted more. And it was the whole thing when they decided to play once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and the whole thing blew up. Like they couldn't take it. So then we went down to spring break. We did those big spring break concerts. And then that was the first time they ever saw the black kids, the white kids, the Latin kids, everybody like out there. Like at one time they were like, yo, Dre and Ed are huge. Whoa. I think we created
y'all was huge,
like, no,
man.
This is what we knew. This is what we knew. And it's like for people to dismiss that history and act like that didn't happen. And that's why I say that's why I always go to the Straight Outta Compton, fiction movie. I said, dude, you act like that didn't happen in front of you. You didn't act like Snoop Dogg came on our show. You didn't act like these things weren't what they were. It's like, I mean, I'm sitting there trying to explain to my son, and my son's going, well, Dad, come on, man. You know, that was a long time ago. I said, do you understand if that didn't happen, this wouldn't be happening now? Not this way.
Dre, I can't. I'm the one that reached out to you. That's why I wanted you on the show, Dre, is because we live in a time now where everybody got a podcast, everybody got a radio show, and all that, and you see the success of Hot 97 and like the shows they have, and you see the success of like a show like The Breakfast Club, and all that wouldn't have existed without you guys.
We launched Power 105.
Yeah,
we launched Power 105. I had a number one late night talk show on Power called the Dr. Dre's After Hour Spot, number one at the time. All those things that emulated the thing that Ed and I perfected. And remember, we did it, and there was no safety net. There was no, oh, well, if you get fired from here, you can go over to Power. Oh, you get fired from Power, you go to Hot. Oh, you go here, you go here. No, there was none of that. It was like, yo, this is over. It's over. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we didn't benefit from it like that.
Oh, man, because I feel that you're the reason why these shows exist and why there is an environment for these shows to exist was because of, the energy that you guys brought to it. Now, I wanted to ask you.
Well, the thing is, the energy comes from one thing. The energy comes from one thing. No matter what I did, I was always a fan of what I did. I never took myself as being this elevated star artist, whatever you want to call it. I never looked at it like that. Even in MTV history, we would never record as being DJs. We're the only hosts of Yo MTV Raps that were a host. So it was a whole different game. I mean, the funny thing is we used to ask to give away the rap award on the Video Music Awards, and they never heard us do it. It was like, what are you talking about? Oh, no VJs. I said, we're not VJs, we're hosts. And everybody here knows who we are. Because when we go to the VMAs and we be a part of it, people would see us. Everybody wants to take pictures of Dre and Ed. Everybody wants to take pictures of everybody. Big rock stars, movie stars, everything. That's what happened. It was like, and we didn't take that for granted, and we didn't look at it like, oh, look what I am, stick our chest out. We were like, no, this is what we do. And Mel Gibson was on our show. James Brown, Pam Grier. I'm going off the grid there. Shaquille O'Neal before he became a huge star in basketball. Everyone wanted to be on UMT Raps. So guess what we did? Come on down. Be a part of it. Because it's a bigger show than just that. And they didn't realize it until we were gone. So we always hear the rumors of, oh, they're going to bring it back and we'll do it again. You can't. It's done. There's too much other things out there now.
I love the show so much. I love the show so much.
They tried to bring it back out. They fuck it up.
Yeah, I love the show so much, man, that, like, once it was over, like, it took me a long time to accept any other show. I just, like, always compared everything to Yo MTV Raps, and I was, like, so upset that it was gone because that's that's where I heard of Nas.
We like,
Biggie,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I like Rap City, but then when Rap City came out with The Basement, that shit was tight, too, because then it was the same format that y'all had. You got the DJ in there, take it down in the basement and shit, then they get in the booth and freestyle. So it's like, everything after y'all is a carbon copy, and most of the times they'll fuck it up. If they tried to bring it out now with the way people drop videos and how fast they come out with videos, you can take your iPhone right now and make a video. Like, this shit would be trash because we know we wouldn't be getting the essence of all of the hip-hop. They just put only what they want us to see on the screen right now as far as hip hop videos.
But see, the thing about
I'd rather watch the old school shit.
We programmed it. We programmed Yo to the last shows. We really did. The thing about Yo that was so interesting is there was a process that we had to go through to get the videos on. I'll never forget. I mean, we put Whoop There It Is on, tag team, before anybody knew who they were, because I got the vinyl from them when I was down at Magic City at the strip club when they gave it to me. We put Luke on with Move Something, Two Live Crew, all those type of things, the organicness of what they were. Like you said, if you do it now, everybody who has a cell phone thinks they can make a quick video, and boom, there it is, boom, there it is, boom, there it is. The thing about Yo was the balance. It was like, we were like the Force. We were the Jedi. We were just trying to keep the balance of the Force in the galaxy. And when they said, oh, no, you guys, run your courses, MTV play videos, says no, but the show is you don't realize how much the show is holding the world together. Not just the United States, the world. We're worldwide known. I mean, we went to St. Petersburg, Russia, and performed, Ed and I, with Salt and Pepper. I mean, on your own TV raps. That's like, come on, man. Before that, I was like, oh, Dre went to Russia? Now people go to Russia like that, going to Columbus, Ohio. Okay, I went to Columbus, Ohio, That's the power of what Yo could do. When you took that away from the community, and I'm a fan, when you took that away from me being a fan, you hurt everything that went along with it. And that's how come, to me, I always blame Vibe and the Source for the death of Tupac and the death of Biggie, because they were publishing and they were doing it, treating it like you versus us, rather than us coming together and creating this synergy. Okay, everybody can come and be on board, and you can do what you do, I can do what I can do, and so what?
Right.
And remember, Dr. Dre and Lover hosted the first Source Awards. Dr. Dre and Lover hosted the first Source Awards, where Suge Knight came out there going up against Puppy and talking about Biggie and all that stuff. All that chaos happened. We were hosting that at the Madison Square Garden. So, I mean, we've been a part of a lot of big things that happened. First and foremost,
how nervous?
How history goes on.
Hey, but what was
I was
the
about to ask you? Did you know that shit was gonna be crazy after that?
That things were gonna get
on there.
Say it again.
Did you feel that things were gonna get out of hand at the Source Awards? Like when Suge Knight came up there and he said all that, were you worried that like shit was really gonna get ugly?
No, I wasn't worried about being ugly. I just said, y'all need to calm the hell down. This is stupid. It's still music, people. Y'all are bringing things from the street into music, into entertainment that have nothing to do with it. And then you're putting the braggadocio on as like a personal assault against each other, saying, yeah, but this is what rap music rock. No, it wasn't. Because when I go back to Hotel Motel Holiday Inn and Rapper's Delight, and I go back to Grandmaster Flash Furious 5, Freedom, when I go back to Curtis Blow's Christmas rapping in the breaks, when I go back to Run DMC's It's Like That, and that's the way it is, it ain't got a damn thing to do with fighting over what coast we're on. And I'll even go back to the World Class Record Tour with the other Dr. Dre. Yeah. Lipstick and Rouge and all. That had nothing to do with this crap y'all said, okay, now we're going to start doing this. That was ridiculous, and I'll never forget having confronting Suge in front of the Radio City Music Hall and one of the Video Music Awards. I said, dude, what are you doing this, man? Oh, I know who you are, Doctor. I said, yeah, I know who you are too, man. Come on. It don't take much to see a coward. I don't care how tough you talk. But do you realize all the stuff you're knocking over and all the people you're destroying? That makes no sense. You're not looking at this as opportunity. You're looking at this as you can conquer it. You can't conquer this because there's no one person can run this thing. It's not the way it works. You created a whole essence of fear that destroyed the music for a period of time. That was unnecessary.
I couldn't agree with you more, Dre.
Look at all the music we lost because you set up this whole thing of fear.
Yeah.
What came of that? And even now, with the whole movie thing, you're sitting around and you're still in a realm of fear. It makes no sense. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it has
Dre.
nothing to do with the music, the culture, the attitude, nothing. Zero. And that's what Yo MTV Raps did. Yo MTV Raps could diffuse all that all the time. And we did quite often.
You guys are mediators, peacemakers.
Yeah, Dre, I couldn't agree with you more, man. Like, for his classic diss records we got out of all that, like, I always thought, like, man, I would trade in those diss records to hear 5 more Biggie and Pac records or hear Mobb Deep with Tupac. And you know what I mean? I just thought all that stuff was just crazy, man, because I'm over here on the East.
We're supposed to be listening right now to Kendrick Lamar and Pac doing a duet. We're supposed to be listening to Biggie and Tupac laughing, talking about we was mad, but now we friends. That's what we're supposed to be listening to right now. They're supposed to be raising their kids and doing like Jay-Z. That's what they're supposed to be doing right now. Instead, we're talking about Shahu. And then we kept following up with everybody doing the same thing. It's like, God, can we learn from this? It makes no sense. This ain't got nothing to do with the music. Nothing to do with the music.
Exactly, man. Couldn't agree with you more. Now, you just mentioned Jay-Z, man. That's how I discovered Jay-Z was through your MTV Raps. Did you have any idea Jay was going to be what he is today with the first time you heard him?
No, because the first time I heard Jay-Z, he was interviewed at BAU with the Jazz doing Hawaiian Sophie. Yeah, that's the first time I saw Jay-Z. First time I ever met Jay-Z. Just like the first time I met KRS-One was at WBAU with South Bronx. And also, that's what made Public Enemy what it was, because they went up there to give the demo, not the demo, to play from Yo Bum Rush the Show to Mr. Magic, and he spurned him and said, oh, man, there be no more music by these suckers. Henceforth, we got Rebel Without a Pause. But see, that's the kind of competition we were talking about, where you get on the record and you prove yourself. That's good. Talking about gunning each other's down, whose wife you're screwing, why you screwing this one and this one do this. It's like you just think, I said, you're yelling fire in a crowded theater and you're wondering why there's a panic. Not necessary, dude. Make your point on the vinyl a better way to. That's what made being a rapper so clever, because you found ways to say stuff like LL Cool J was the king of the battle records. He really is. He ended careers. Ask MC Shan. Ask Cannabis. You know, he had that gift. But it never sparked, even with Ice-T, it never sparked a let's go get in the middle of a ring and start fighting. No, he did what he did on time, and you came back and tried to come back on him. He could end your career with a verse. Who shot you? LL's what he is. I mean, to me, how come LL Cool J can't make records today? How come we're missing those words or whatever he's trying to say? Is he irrelevant? I don't think so. I think just speak to his audience, his own audience. He just got inducted into the Kennedy Center for entertainment. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Without a doubt, man. No question. No question. So, Dre, when you look back on your MTV Raps, man, when you think about what you guys did, what are your favorite interviews? Like, what are the episodes that stick out? Like, the artists that the episodes that you like the most? You don't have any?
I don't have any. You know why? Because the ones the people we interviewed, they were great for who they were, all of them. Even the ones I've mentioned during this, from NWA to Ice-T to Lawrence Fishburne was on our show. I mean, there's too many countless great moments. Some of the best episodes were the things that we did, Ed and I together, things we did with T-Money, Yo Mailman, and him doing different disguises, and him playing the real Michael Jackson or playing the Nubinator, all of the stuff that we did that was creative. Those are the things that I go, wow, that was really cool. Doing interviews with Luke and going different places and stuff, those were cool things to do. But the show carried its weight because Ed and I sat in the chair and we were fans just saying, hey guys, come check this out. You hanging out with us? Check this out. We just found this out. And then we'd show it to you. That's what made Yo MTV Rap so fun and genuine. We weren't trying to be hip and cool. We just tried to be us.
Yeah. That's what I liked about your show, man. But what you said earlier, you guys were fans of it. Like, you were fans of the culture. And you could see that. You know what I mean? You guys had fun, and you genuinely seemed like you guys were having a good time, man. And that's why your show, you guys mean a lot to me. You know what I mean? That's why I reached out to you. You know what I mean? It was just because
the cool thing was, like, when we had Bobby Brown on at the height of My Prerogative, I mean, it was the biggest song in the world at the time. And Ed and I saw Bobby at a party, and we said, yo, man, let's shoot Yodeman. Why don't you come by? Why don't you come by? Yeah, man, I'm coming by. So we came by. We ended up doing a whole week with Bobby Brown. We had to readjust everything we programmed to fit it, which was cool. So what we led to there with Bobby, we readjusted in the program, which was cool. The week the show aired, because we always shot the week behind. So when we shot on Wednesday, you didn't see that till the next week. That show aired. MTV was screaming at us, how the hell did y'all get Bobby Brown? We've been trying to get Bobby Brown for 4 months, or 2 or 3 months, and we couldn't get anywhere. And we turned on the TV, and Bobby Brown fell on your TV Raps. How the hell did that happen?
Man, the impact
because
of it.
Bobby Brown loved Joe and TV Raps.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, Joe and TV Raps was the staple. It felt like finally they got something for us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, at least that's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, we couldn't fucking wait. We was dubbing over VHS tapes and all of that if we couldn't get that. You know what I'm saying? Not only was y'all dubbing,
that's why we did the show that way.
VHS tapes
because
just to see y'all shit.
We wanted people in Compton to be comfortable with us, as well as people in the Bay Area, Seattle, Washington, some Mix-a-Lot and Company, Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, Texas, Arizona, Miami, Jacksonville, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, anywhere. We wanted you to feel like, hey, you coming to hang out with us in the clubhouse. I would say we wanted to make it look like the Little Rascals grown up, and we was all just hanging out, and you can come hang with us.
Right.
So it was never pretentious. It was never like we tried to make it fit this way so you could look and see this was this. We always knew whatever we were doing, we were breaking the ground with it. So when people tried to imitate us, which we thought was very flattering, we then turned it another way. Because we actually were out there and we were listening to the music. We were meet. We knew everybody. So it wasn't like, you guys act like you know these people. No, we do, because we party with them. They party with us. And if we didn't go party, we just did what we naturally did.
Yeah.
And that was the worst part to me of MTV Raps for me was I didn't get to go DJ as much as I wanted to because everybody thought I was too expensive. I said, what? I didn't even give you a price because I love DJing. I love going to a party. I love playing parties.
Oh yeah. And now, what about today, Dre? Do you follow hip hop today?
Mhm. I have to. I have kids that are musicians, and I have they're around music, and I do my own late night talk show called Dr.Dre's Flesh Room. So I follow hip hop today. Do I agree with all of it? No, I didn't agree with all of it when I was coming up. But in its generation, I give it the opportunity to play to its generation. I can't tell these young people they're doing something wrong. I just say you're doing something different. But then I kind of figured it out because I was trying to, figure out why they do this and that and the other. I kind of figured it out. And I said, you know what? They're like really jazz rappers. You rap any way you want. You scat rap on anything, and the beat doesn't really matter. Timing doesn't matter, but you do it, and you're saying what you want to say, how you want to say it. And that's fine. If that's what makes people go, let it go. But I'm always asking them one question. How y'all dance to happen?
I never looked at it.
The one thing, when you listen to My Prerogative or you listen to Rebel Without a Pause, you can dance. You can do something. When you listen to Wu-Tang Clan, METHOD Man, or you listen to Method Man, I can go down the list of great hip-hop rap records, and that whole point of it was to get people to get out and dance. I'm trying to get to understand how y'all get people to dance. Even Biggie with Hypnotize.
They make dances.
You can dance the flavor in your
That's
ear.
what they do now. They wait till one of these groups make the dance song, like the Whip and the Nay Nay and Soulja Boy, do the Superman, and that's the only way they dance. They don't just make music to get out and have a good time. I think a lot of hip hop is making music to show you what it's braggadocious. It's always been braggadocious, but now it's like,
right,
I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you ain't doing that, I'm taking your woman, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? But So some people say, well, y'all was talking about that too. I said, yeah, but it was a story to tell with it. There's no concept albums in the majority of hip-hop albums.
You can dance to Salt and Pepper, Push It. You can dance to Salt and Pepper, I'll Take Your Man. You can dance to MC Light, Gotta Rough Neck, Gotta Have a Rough Neck. You could dance to those songs. That was the whole point
exactly.
of it. But I'm trying to understand and again, maybe I'm missing something, but who knows? I don't know. I can't, like I said, I can't judge them. They do what they do the way they do it. I'm proud of it. How they wish to say how they want to say. I'm not a hater.
That's what I say.
I'm a congratulator. I'm still a fan.
But they'll call us a hater anyway. Like if I say I don't like it, then I instantly get called, "What you hating for?" I'm like, I just don't like it, man. It was stuff when I was coming up, the stuff that I liked, it was stuff that was coming out that I just don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like now, if you don't like something, it's always equated with you a hater.
You're a hater.
That don't mean I'm a hater. I just don't like that shit, man. Turn it down. You know what I'm saying?
I can't sit in the clothing. I don't like shopping everywhere you go to Burlington Coat Factory or somewhere, all the clothes on the rack is like, this is made for a teenage boy. I'm a grown man. So I just stick with Dickies and T-shirts, man. T-shirts and khakis. Fuck it.
Right. You got to think it's hard to buy designer when we get older, I guess, because I can't wear what they like. No.
Well, no. You're supposed to see. That's what I like to bring out and bring back, and that's the focus of what I do on my show. I play music for what my generation likes. If y'all don't get it, then go back and we'll listen to what you listen to. But this is for me. So you'll hear Heat Wave Ain't No Half Stepping. You'll hear Elton John. Benny and the Jets mixed with,
you know what I'm saying?
You'll hear Chubb Rock. You'll hear all these different things. You'll be like, yo, what the heck is Dre playing? And you'll hear SZA. You'll hear 2 Chainz. You'll hear Kendrick. You'll hear all those things. But I treat the music. I say, look, why don't we all play just music and enjoy the music? And what you're saying is cool. What this one's saying cool. So I'm giving you a chance to go. Damn, I didn't know that song. So one time, guests came up to my show and they were like, man, I listened to what you were doing. I said, yo, this is really cool. What? How do you do this? I said, well, my son honestly helps me program the show because his generation, he knows what they like. So he tells me the songs. We sit down and listen to them. I said, okay, we'll take that one. We'll take this one. We'll take this one. Gave me Rhapsody. Gave me, all these other different artists. And I'm like, cool. I don't have to like them. You do. So program it.
Right. And see,
you're gonna listen to,
Dre, you always going to have a different perspective because you a DJ too. So you always want to see the crowd moving.
There you go. And I don't even have to see the movement. I can hear the energy. If the energy's right, I'm there all day long. If the energy's wrong, I don't know what to say. I sit there and I go, what I go to people and go, what are they doing? How's everybody sitting on the side? What's going on?
Yeah.
I thought I liked this song.
Dre, I want to get a couple more questions in. I wanted to ask you a couple more questions before we get to what you're doing right now, because what you're doing right now is very important, and I want to give you the opportunity to talk about that too. But real quick, what can you tell me about your time on the show Cold Pizza, which ended up being like First Take on ESPN2, and do you got a Super Bowl prediction for us?
Oh, okay. Let's start with Cold Pizza. Cold Pizza I got through my agent at the time. They were looking for someone to come on and do DVD reviews and do the special features and DVD reviews. And when I went in there was like 5 of us to go for the job. And I said, I'm gonna take this from all y'all. Y'all can't mess with me. And I did. So I ended up posting that, and then they would have different NFL players like Michael Strahan, Tiki Barber, Amani Toomer, and that's a lot of Giants. So we had all different players from the NFL coming in, and we were doing it with it. So I started doing that, and they were like, yo, he's really good. He's popular. And they said to me, would you mind wearing like a suit jacket and a tie? I said, you know what? And I'm getting paid to do it. I said, I have no problem doing that, but then it wouldn't be me. Then you'd want Andre Brown. And they said, what? But you are? I said, yeah, I am Andre Brown. I said, but the guy when you put the camera on, that's Dr. Dre. And I got to remain honest to Dr. Dre and who I am. So let me be, I'm me. I wear the jerseys. I do this. I give a different perspective of it so that when your viewers are looking, they're not seeing the same thing you see across the table from Skip and from forgot the gentleman's name who was hosting the program at the time. That's what they do. They put the ties on. They do this, and then they were like, "Well, damn, we need to send him different places." So then they started sending me to LA to do movie reviews and go out and see premieres of movies. And then when I went out there and the producer out there, he's like, everybody knows him. Wait a minute. He goes on the red carpet, never interviewing him, and he's interviewing them. And people are stopping to talk to him. So I went to Will Smith's iRobot premiere, and Will and I started hanging out. We're laughing and talking around the bike, and it's being filmed. And my boss catches Will, and he's like, how does he know all everybody? He said, do you know who he is for real? Do you really know? My producer said, that's Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps. You don't understand. So they were like, yo, what else can he do? So I got sent to all different type of things for Cold Pizza. So one time we were doing a segment, and they were talking about vacationing in Brazil. So they had this huge trailer come up, and the trailer was like plexiglass, and it had sand in it, and it had these models in bikinis. Now, outside, it may have been 10 degrees below freaking zero, right? And we're in there doing the show, and they're showing them on the screen. And I'm like, dang, how can they show it's cold? But the inside of the trailer was heated. So I finished my segment, and I said, okay, guys, I'm out. And I'm walking out, and I walk outside to go get in my car, and I see the trailer, and I said, I'll give it a shot. I walked in the trailer. They go to cut back. I'm sitting down with the models. They're sitting on my lap over there in the trailer, and they're going, wait a minute, what's he doing in there? I don't have my hat on. I'm sitting there, and I'm talking, with the whole board. And they're like, Dre is in the trailer with the girl. Get so-and-so out there with him. So he comes running out. He goes, Dre, what are you doing out here? I said, well, you guys said I was off, so I figured I can go to Brazil, too, and enjoy all of this. And from that moment on, they were like, we got to get him to anchor. He's got to anchor. And we were coming close to doing it, but the guy that brought me in for Cold Pizza, ESPN was changing it. So they were getting rid of Cold Pizza like that, and that's when I went to First and 10, whatever it is now. They were changing the program. So that's television.
Was Jay Crawford the host of that?
That was my man,
okay.
Jay. Yeah, Jay was my man. Jay and I, we hung hard everywhere. We did a lot of funny crazy stuff. That was the thing that brought me in closer. So he was like, Dre's funny, everybody knows him, he's personal. But the thing that got him, he said his boss, the boss from ESPN was at home watching it, and he said, who is that guy in the trailer with the girls with the bathing suits on? Because I'm in there, remember, I'm sitting there and the thing is hot, and I got on a winter coat and a hat. It probably looks ridiculous, but that's what you do when you understand. He says, why isn't he on staff? Why isn't he doing this? So that's when I worked all the time with that. I had a good time doing that. That was a lot of fun because they allowed me to be me. But then when we were negotiating, it was like, well, would you mind putting on the jacket? They say, okay, we'll compromise with you. You don't have to put a tie on, but you have to put on like a turtleneck or a mock, something, but you got to put the jacket on. I said, I'll put the jacket on. I said, you're going to pay for him? He said, of course. I said, but I get to pick my color. He said, what's that mean? I said, I can put any kind of jacket I want, which I was going to have a ball. I'd go in the wardrobe, and I was picking out fun stuff. I just wanted to look fun. It broke the mold of what the whole sportscaster thing was, and it wasn't just the golden jacket with the emblem on it. And they were getting ready to start sending me to football games and stuff like that. They were like, no, send him out as the color commentator. He's good. He knows. I said, but I don't want to just do football or bat. I said, I want to do sports. I want to be able to cover anything. And that's what we were negotiating because I was supposed to go to ESPN.
Wow, man. That's great, man. And who you got in the Super Bowl, man? Here's my thing in the Super Bowl, and I make it real simple. If the Eagles go up 28-0 going into the third quarter, I'm not watching it. Then I know the NFL is fixed because I'm still trying to get over the fact that Tom Brady and the Patriots came back from a 34-3 deficit late in the third quarter against Atlanta, and they won 37-34. I don't believe that happened. I'm sorry. I know. I don't believe it. It's a fix. It's the same thing happened when Seattle was playing them and they won the 1 yard line
and they had the greatest NFL running back of the year. He was on the 1 year. All you do is hand the ball off. You decide to throw to the corner for an interception? What? What? Because if that's the truth, then Eli Manning is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. Because he beat Tom Brady twice. Not once. Beat him twice. So if I'm watching and Philadelphia goes up 28-0, I'm turning off my set and I'm watching the dog show. I can't watch it anymore. I'm going to watch the Westminster Dog Show, and I'm going to watch the parade the poodles and stuff around. I can't believe Tom Brady can engineer a comeback again that perfect. No, I can't. That means there's an envelope being passed. We don't know what it is, but I guarantee you, 5 years from now, we're going to know Pete Carroll owns an island in the Caribbean. Something happened. Because he used to man. It's my fault if I made that call. Dude, even if he made the call and you looked and said, this is a good idea, you could have tucked the ball and fell over for the touchdown. You were beating them the whole game. How does it happen? Once? Maybe. But last year, I can't do it. There's nothing in my body making me believe that they're that good. Because to me, Tom Brady, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. A great quarterback was Joe Montana. That was a great quarterback. Joe Montana ran, threw. He could do everything. He's a field general. Tom Brady is basically a perfect passer, which if anybody goes near him, the ref is going to throw a flag. Oh, my God, you're breathing on Tom Brady. Flag. Oh, my God, you're looking Tom Brady in the eye. Flag. What? Are we playing football? Because if that's not true, how did the Giants beat him twice?
Yeah.
They beat him twice.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to watch. As soon as I hear it's 28-0, and Philly gets the ball back. Oh, no, I can't. It's going to happen again. Let's turn to the dog show. I don't even want to know the score. New England won, whatever. I don't want. No,
yeah, they got it all set up for the Patriots to win. But at the same time, if the Patriots win, fuck, what if Tom Brady, man? They just might be some good dudes. But I got a feeling if they win, it won't be because of Tom Brady. It'll be because other motherfuckers stepping up to the plate.
Hold on. First of all, if you know late in the fourth quarter, you got New England down by 2 touchdowns, who's he throwing the ball to? Gronkowski. I know that. Don't you think everybody else watching the game knows Gronkowski getting the ball? Don't you think the coaches on the side
then he got
the ball?
Boy might pull the rabbit out the hat too, the Amendola boy. See, I'm in St. Louis. Amendola used to be out here with the Rams and shit.
I know that. I know Amendola's talented too.
But it have to come from Brady. If it was Amendola, it'd have to come from Brady, though.
Yeah, but the thing I'm trying to say is that if you know who's going to catch the ball and you guard against the guy who's catching the ball, and he can't catch the ball, how can't you win? I don't get it. I know they're good, but come on, man. It's the Super Bowl. Come on. I can't go, okay. No, I can't. I just can't do it. Everybody makes a mistake. And every time Amendola catches a miraculous catch, the defender magically falls down. There's got to be an envelope. I'm looking for an envelope. It's good. The story. Trust my words. 5 years from now, the story will break. New England Patriots bought six Super Bowls. They paid for it, but they couldn't pay the Giants off.
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan, so we ain't, man. I'm so pissed every year since 1985. I just been pissed when it comes to football, but I still rep my dudes. I don't give myself. I'm not rooting for either one of the teams. I don't give a shit who win. I just hope it's a good ass game. Don't nobody get killed. Don't live on TV or nothing like that, and like freak accident. And hopefully it come down to the last minute of the game. And then I'll be straight.
Let's go back to the Jacksonville Jaguars, New England Patriots, and then AFC Championship game.
They gave that shit up. Jacksonville fucked that up.
How did Jacksonville lose the chance to go to the Super Bowl? I can't explain that. I can't. I cannot. I can't go with you there.
Yeah, nobody can. They can't even explain it.
Okay, we just gave up. No.
They gave that shit up. Yep.
No,
they gave that shit. They almost gave it up the week before that with Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, but they can't. But you beat Pittsburgh, and that was a good game. Minnesota's game. Who did Minnesota play to beat to go to see the Eagles? I forgot who they played. That was a good game. But then again, and the thing is, I was on the phone with my boys. Yeah, they just beat New Orleans. Brady was going down. Jacksonville was going to stop them, and they won. I said, I can't watch the Super Bowl. I can't. Because if he does that again, then it's on the 6th. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. Sorry.
Now, Dre, man, look, we don't want to hold you all night, so I can't thank you enough for doing this, man. You gave us this.
No,
might
thank
be
y'all.
my favorite.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, look, you're definitely
France real quick. Sorry, go ahead. Ben.
No, I just want to tell Dre, like, I want you to talk about. We're going to bring on a caller real quick. He's a friend of ours. He wants to ask you a question, but I just want to let you know that we're definitely down to do a part 2 of this interview anytime you want to do it.
Well, then hold that other question for part 2, because I got too much stuff getting ready to happen. As long as it's before April, we can work something out, and there's something big happening in April.
I got your email. Look, we'll bring on this caller, and then when the caller's done, I want you to talk about what you're getting into nowadays, man, and we'll let you get out of here after that, man. So let's go ahead and bring on Sin.
Okay.
Sin, what's up, man?
Sin for France.
Yeah, what's up? Yes, sir. What's up? What's up, Scott, Bottom Mac? What's up, Dr. Dre? Yes, sir.
Hey,
can you tell us about... I'm fine. All right. Can you tell us about your first record, Knowledge Me, and also about the song Can You Feel It? It's banging. Actually, even now, you can play it in club. It's crazy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
As I said, both of those songs were derivatives of our radio station. They were called radio station promos. That's why they sound the way they do. And they talk about the local area and the local guys, because it was a promo that we did for WBAU that we had Bill Stephanie, Chuck D, Flavor Flav, my man T Money and company, and all the great people there at BAU, Thaddeus and company, and the Concept Cuties, Barbara and Yvonne, and all the folks that we went through a whole cool thing in that period of time. So those 2 songs came from that, and then we went and got an opportunity to record them with Rick Rubin at Def Jam, and SteveEtt was the engineer. And who knew? Who knew it would last that long? And people would think it was that popular and fun. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed this. Hey, keep streaming it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I still bump it in club. I'm DJ, so I bump it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, Dre, man, you're doing a lot of important things right now, man. We saw you on Oprah. Tell everybody what you're doing for diabetes. And you don't want to find treatment; you want to find the cure. That's your ultimate goal, if I'm not mistaken. So why don't you let everybody know what's going on, man?
Because legally, I'm a type 2 diabetic who lost his sight, and I also have a thing called Charcot in my feet. We can't use the word cure. We're not allowed to by the medical community and by the United States government. You're not allowed to say cure because it's not really a cure. But what I am doing is helping to find a way to reverse the effects. I'm working with many different great holistic doctors, and one of my good friends, Dr. B, who was referred to me by my mentor, Dick Gregory, the late great Dick Gregory, and helped me start my big reversals on things. And now I'm working with Dr. Ulysses Jackson, who's a PhD in holistic medicine, as well as opiate addiction and dealing with all the overdosing and the addictive problems that are going on with our medications. So we're going through holistic medicine and pure, not stuff that you buy in the store, which is mixed with something else and the thing. But we're doing natural herbs that come from Jamaica and in Africa. I'm just right now working on this deal in Africa to create a farm out there for what we're doing in Jamaica. So we actually want to get the herbs growing in the motherland and bring that over here to the United States and help distribute and help people with that. I have a program on my show called Doctor to Doctors where we interview different doctors, pharmaceutical doctors, holistic doctors, psychological doctors to try to help people find a way to better health and wellness and happiness. So that's what I'm really doing right now, and that's what that's really about. But I can be more expansive on that on our next interview because I'm close to doing a deal that's going to be very groundbreaking and effective for everybody, and they're going to be able to visually see and be a part of it. And you're going to be able to see what I'm doing on a daily basis because that's a part of my show with Dr. the Doctor on my Flesh Food show, which is a late-night talk show I do right now. We broadcast out of the Matrix Studios up in the Bronx, so right now cutting deals to do with a lot of different other places also. So that's what I'm doing, really, gentlemen.
Wow,
so,
man,
I forgot my
we
podcast.
salute you for
my
that.
My podcast I do. Hold on. I gotta say this too. And I also have a podcast which we debut in February 1st on iTunes called Two Blind Mics with my partner, Sensei Superhero Thomas Reed. He and I do that, and he trained me on how to use the technology with my lack of vision. And you'd be surprised. I can pick up your iPhone and show you things that'll make you go, what? How do you do that? Yeah. So we have a podcast that goes inside of our show too. But yeah, we're keeping close to it. And I gotta thank my kids because when I decided to get back into doing this, I had to ask them because they all started to go to college. So would you mind if I get back into doing this and work? And I said, yeah, man, go look. Come on, Dad, do what you gotta do. But as my daughter said, I still got all the stuff. So I'm taking all your stuff when you die. I said, well, I appreciate that, but I better stick around a while so you don't get any of my stuff for a minute. But no, I mean, it's just a lot of love with different folks out there, and I really appreciate it. And I'm blessed with my family and friends that actually stick behind me, and they're being very supportive. So thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate that. Maybe
Dre, look,
on
man,
part
we've
two,
had almost 500
episodes.
We've had almost 500 episodes, man. I've been a part of about 200 of them. This might have been my favorite episode, man.
I appreciate
that. I can't
thank
you enough for coming on. I really appreciate it, and we wish you nothing but great things, man. I hope your health improves, man, and you know, our thoughts are with you, man, and keep fighting and keep doing what you're doing, man, because while other people try to leave people out of the conversation, to us, you're a legend, Ray, and you mean the world to us, man. Like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this right now, man, for real. I wouldn't have ever thought about doing this, man, because your MTV Raps and what you and Ed Lover did, man, that made me fall in love with hip-hop, man. So I'll never forget that shit, man.
I keep things very simple. All things are possible through God, and God has his hand on my back and he's directed me to do what I have to do at this point. So I'm still involved with the music. I'm still involved with the culture. I'm just happy. I'm just happy, and my health is turning for the best. So thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir, and I'll be in touch with you, man. If you're serious about doing a part two of this interview, man, well, we're definitely serious, man. We'd love to have you back.
It's already done. You just got to coordinate it with my production coordinator, Heidi Z. She does all that good stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We will.
Take care, man.
You guys have a great night.
You too, Dre. Thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome.
Oh, man, hell of an interview with legendary Dr. Dre. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed that because I sure did.
I loved it, man. I wasn't just saying that. This might be my favorite interview that I've been a part of, man. So shout out to him and shout out to Heidi for making it happen, man. Thanks a lot, Heidi.
Definitely. Yeah, we're gonna see you guys episode 500 February 8th. 8 p.m. Central to 11 p.m. Central. Make sure you tune in. We don't know who's going to call in. On episode 400, we had Bushwick Bill, DJ Paul, and Mr. Servon all talking together. So you know what we do. So you don't know what the heck's going to happen, but it's going to be legendary. It's going to be some real good hip-hop stuff. So make sure to tune into that as well. Yeah, what else we got this week? I know we got an interview with Master Ace that you did, Sin, all the way in France. That's going to be airing Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? We got another dope interview coming up. Philo the Great. That's going to be interviewing tomorrow. We're going to be doing that one. And of course, we got
Wednesday we got Granddaddy IU. the interview that we already did, and then
yes.
I got a smooth.
Daddy, how you? Dope interview.
Yeah, I got a smooth. We might have Smooth and Blackistan on together, but I haven't got 100% confirmation from Blackistan. But we definitely got Smooth. They got a project together right now that I really like the first song, and those guys are dope. So I reached out to both of them. They both responded, but Smooth responded and confirmed while Blackistan didn't. So hopefully by then he'll be joining us too. But if not, that's all good. We're still going to have the interview.
Heck of a week. All right, fellas, let's get out of here. We're going to shut it down. We'll see you guys shortly. And don't forget, February 8th, man, episode 500. Look into that, man. We've been working real hard past 6 years to get to this point. And, man, we hope you guys enjoy what we're doing. And, we're going to continue to do so. Thank you. Peace.